Hello, good evening Irene, and welcome here in Brussels. If I may briefly introduce yourself, you are an artist from Australia.
Yes.
And you are teaching at the RMIT in Melbourne and also in many other places on this planet. You have accompanied lots of students, art students, to start their career in their beginning stages of their careers. And for a number of years now you have been working on a huge project which you have called the Tapestry of Light. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, the full title is The Tapestry of Light, Intersections of Illumination, because it has to do with various forms of light and thread, and it's based on the Angers apocalypse. In 1998, I was standing in front of the Angers tapestry, doing my thesis on the abstract and figurative elements of the apocalypse and its representations. And I had a sort of an understanding that it would be fantastic to do a reimagining of the Angers tapestry, and a reimagining by female, because in my research I'd come up with very, very few female artists who had tackled a full cycle of the apocalypse, and I felt that it was about time that somebody did.
So the huge project is 36 meters long, it's 3 meters high.
Yes.
It implies the presentation of the full text of the Book of Revelation, which appears on top of the 6 big frameworks which are going to hold the tapestries. Mm-hmm. And within this you have worked with lots of quotations, artistic quotations from Angers tapestry, but from many other sources as well.
Yes, I've looked back through painting, frescoes, and various forms of figurations of the apocalypse, and I've included those within the actual imagery and the narrative. For instance, I have Dürer's woodcuts, I have El Greco's young John, I have Giotto's old man having the revelation of the apocalypse in this. I have images from the Daus Apocalypse, which is an English illuminated manuscript, as well as French, a Beatus figure. So I have taken all the way through many different elements of figurations from the apocalypse and utilised them. And
by utilising them, you mean you have changed their form, you have changed their colours? What did you do with these?
Yes, I've changed the form, the colour, the context. I've placed all of these figures in a contemporary context. I've illuminated them in various ways, whether it be through phosphorescent or fluorescent colour. The fluorescent colour under a UV light changes the nature of the images, where in natural light you would see all the images. Under a UV light you only see parts of images, which makes the full image a very dramatic rendering of the apocalypse.
So in fact visitors will be able to see 3 different stages or appearances of the tapestry.
Yes,
Is that
they
right?
will. Yes, they will. They will see the normal light. They would walk in, and mind you, they're able to walk nearly up to the surface of the tapestry. So a part of that was to get the audience sensing as if they were within the actual tapestry. So their relationship with the surface is quite intimate, and even though it's in a very big space, they're able to get very close. And as the natural light changes into ultraviolet light, suddenly the images become much more dramatic, and they change and they vary. And then as all the lights disappear, the tapestry itself begins to glow with phosphorescent, a glow-in-the-dark thread that has been manufactured and made by Professor David Manwaring from RMIT University and Swinburne University.
And you've chosen to have this tapestry woven here in Belgium.
Yes, at the Flanders Tapestries. They make many tapestries for many artists. Some of those artists include Grayson Perry, Damien Hirst, Gerhard Richter. There's there's lots of artists. So I'm very happy that the Tapestry of Light is being made in that lineage of artists, but also because it's being made in Belgium, where some of the most wonderful tapestries in the world have been made.
Now, if we just come back a little towards the contents of the work, it is a rather violent book, that Apocalypse. It's about war, it's about destruction, it's about death. Is it going to be a very gloomy work for you?
It has, if you look at the elements, especially the illuminations from the Angers tapestry direct, which I have redrawn and recollaged, yes, it's very, I wouldn't say gloomy, it's horrific actually. However, underneath all of the images is what I term a thermal image, or an irradiated image, which is my rendition of a heavenly or eternal time, and that undergirds everything. So through the tapestry you will see a fading and a cutting out of the natural realm into this irradiated light, which denotes heaven and denotes the heavenly.
So in the end there is an optimistic, a positive message behind the book of Revelation and your tapestry?
Yes, it finishes with the heavenly Jerusalem coming down, as we find in chapters 21 of Revelation and 22. The heavenly city, which is a beautiful city that has no need of external light, because God is the light within the city, a futuristic city. But the overall ambience and the overall nature of this particular tapestry is about light. So even though it's about the horror and the judgments that are coming upon the earth, it is also about the eternity and the new time that the Apocalypse speaks of. I've used many images taken from history, and so for the viewer they are to come up to the tapestry and that they can find these images. So one can spend a lot of time. The tapestry itself reveals itself, and the images reveal themselves, a little like a revelation in Revelation, you could say. A revelation gives you an instant understanding, but it also can unfold. And Revelation itself speaks of itself in the first sentence. It is the unveiling of Jesus Christ. It's a revealing. And so I wanted my tapestry in the actual process of looking and reading to unveil itself to the public and to people who view it.
Well, we look forward to discover this work, and thank you for trusting us to premiere this long thought-through work of yours.
And it's a great privilege to be able to begin the tour of the Tapestry of Light at the Brussels Cathedral.